you said Romero and Van der Bellen are both training. Can you explain to the layman at least why they can train but they can't?
Because it's a different sort of intensity. And when I say training, they're not training always with the team. They're doing a lot of individual stuff, which is more based around them getting back to the levels of we need to. So, and again, to just paint a clearer picture, we've hardly trained for 2.5 months. I keep saying that you blokes could have joined in our training, and I mean that seriously. We've literally been walking around just going through tactical stuff. So for them to join at that serves no purpose because they get nothing out of it physically because our guys have just been recovering. So it's just now with the last 3 days, and the hope is that we kind of can drop now with training properly is Mickey and Romero over the next couple of weeks to really then be part of our team training totally. So, call it modified, call it what you want. But a lot of their work now is individual training. What I'm saying is they're not bedridden. They're not sitting on, just getting treatment. They're out there running. They're doing significant training, but it's just not with the team always.
You said a couple of weeks. Is it fair to hope that they'll be fit for that Europa League game?
Yeah, with sort of a bit of for want of a better word, some momentum in terms of them getting some good training weeks. Yeah, if it's not then, it won't be much after. We've got an international break, so it won't be much after that. And I'd include Domino as well. So he's in a similar sort of boat where I think once the boys get sort of the green light, they're going to push pretty hard to. But some of it's like Matters. Matters should have been out probably another 2 weeks. I think Vicario we had scheduled in for middle of March, so it just depends on the players. But I'd certainly expect Mickey and Cootie to be around the mark at that time.
Do you feel like the season starts again here? Does it feel like
I wish it did, mate. Yeah, but it doesn't. We're still in the same position. We're still kind of dealing with certain things. But I think your point is, well, I think I said after the Villa game, is it a chance for a little bit of a reset? I think there's a natural physical break for us, which I think allows us to think about, okay, from here onwards, there's an opportunity now to maybe change the course of our season. But you can't ignore what's happened, and you're still carrying remnants of that. It's not like that's not in our heads, the fact that we've, the disappointment of our league season, the disappointment of going out in the semi-final of the Carabao Cup, the disappointment of Sunday are still there. So you still carry that with you. You can't just extinguish that. But is it an opportunity? Yes, for a little bit of a reset, because it's coincided also with some significant inclusions. I think there's an opportunity for that, yeah.
And do you reset targets within that? When do you sort of sit down and address the players on that?
Yeah, well, I mean, we've got a sort of clear course now of what's left for us, that's for sure. So we kind of know league-wise, okay, well, this is kind of our program without too many disruptions anymore, because even with our league, games were getting shifted about. I mean, if we were in the Carabao Cup final, we would be playing Fulham next week in midweek. Now we're not. We know that that's not there. And then with Europe, again, it's a pretty set path. So it does give us a chance to sort of map out the rest of our season and also give the players some clear sort of objectives as to how we can tackle it.
What would satisfy you? What in terms of you're in a cup, you want to win it, but in terms of the league?
Yeah, we need to improve our league position where we are. I don't think is reflective of what we have, and that's my role to get maximum out of the guys we have, and we need to move up the table and see where that takes us. I still think it's really tight. At some point, unless teams are really lucky, the kind of injuries we've had will catch up with other teams as well, I think, which gives us an opportunity if we can get on a run to move up the table. So we can't like I said, we can't put the queue in the rack in terms of the league and just say, well, let's just sort of peter out the season, finish wherever we finish. I think that's not the kind of mindset I want. We want to see, we need to improve our league form, we need to move up the table, and we need to tackle on the task of trying to win a European trophy. No, but fair to say it's been good, even just to have a couple of days. After the Villa game, obviously you deal with the disappointment of it, but just have a couple of days where, I could sort of just clear my head a little bit, because I really felt, it was the grind of the games, the constant kind of trying to figure out, ways we can navigate every sort of challenge we had on it, almost a daily basis. I said, turning up to this 3, sometimes 4 times a week. It kind of, you don't feel it, but when you're in it, but afterwards you kind of go, okay, I need a bit of it's good to get a bit of a break where you can sort of clear your head, have some meaningful kind of conversations with people about just anything without something else being at the forefront of my mind. So physically I didn't do anything, I didn't go away or do anything, but just have a couple of days of, just being...
spare afternoon, have you got a box set you like to dig into, or a book or anything?
I'm a big reader, and I don't mind binging a series or two. So there's always...
Give us an example of a series. I actually know we used to tell us Game of Thrones all the time, which we used to like.
Game of Thrones, just whatever sort of takes my fancy. I don't want to throw one out there because then it'll get sort of a million hits, and I might set off people on the wrong path. But any kind of sort of, I just binged Landman, just came out with Billy Bob Thornton. Very good. I can recommend that. Well, to a certain audience anyway. It's not for kids, but that helps me kind of switch off, and usually watching with my wife. So we both enjoy that, and like I said, I think even she sensed that I was having conversations that I was actually invested in, rather than sort of just my mouth moving up and down and other things being in my head. So thanks, mate.
John?
Do you see Ruben Amorim as a kindred spirit? Plays his certain formation because he sees it as a waste of time not to do it. It's got to be done.
Yeah, I don't know about a kindred spirit, but I do admire people like that. I think it takes conviction, and it takes, and like I said, we just don't live in that world anymore where people have the patience to see things grow and happen, and to rail against that. I've got great admiration for him. Look, I think he's an outstanding manager. I mean, I followed his career, obviously, at Sporting, and there's a reason, he was touted as, for quite a number of clubs, not surprising to me. And I'm going to love seeing how it develops, because I know it will in time, and he'll, you'll kind of sit back and admire the fact that he didn't yield or didn't sort of buckle when it's so easy to. It is. It's so much easier to conform, and instead of running the gauntlet of opinion, we all get judged the same way. We get judged on results. I get that, and if you're in my position, or sort of where Ruben is now, you're going to get scrutiny and criticism, but I don't think that means you're not coaching well or managing well. It's just I see those things differently, and I'm sure he'll do a great job, but irrespective, I think he'll have a great career. Just my 2 cents worth.
You haven't got a leaky roof to cope with. You're ahead of the game when it comes to stadiums. Old Trafford.
Oh, sorry. Jeez.
Stadium.
That's it. Yeah, and that's a challenge for them, I guess. But it's you got to say, I think all jobs are tough, managerial jobs, but that Man United one's got a bit extra on it, I reckon. Fair bit of noise around that one.
And George, please.
And I just wanted to take you back to 2020, the season at Yokohama. How much is this 3
Yeah, similar. Yeah, we kind of, yeah, we had a horrendous injury list and a horrendous sort of fixturing as well. It just felt like we were just playing a game every 2 days. It was a very similar period. I guess the difference there was the noise around it wasn't as nearly as kind of loud as it is obviously in the Premier League for all the sort of reasons we know, so that you had time to kind of just clearly think through your strategies and what you wanted to do without having to deal with too many sort of outside influences. So yeah, that's kind of the major difference, but that's the nature of the beast, I guess, when you're managing at the Premier League.